Hello, everybody. In this video, I'm going to write an example of an argumentative essay using my writing template. So the topic is one we did before Easter with the question, should humanity strive to become a multi-planetary species? If you remember the lesson before Easter, the reason I've used Elon Musk is that he started the company SpaceX, a space exploration company, with the explicit reasoning that he believes humanity should strive to become a multi-planetary species for the survival of our species. He believes that if we don't expand to other planets, then one day the sun will explode, we'll all die, and that will be game over for humanity. And he loves humans. He wants humans to live beyond planet Earth. That's his argument. Does it make sense? Well, how do we plan an essay? I'm going to write the whole essay in 3 paragraphs. That's the first thing I'm going to do. The 3 paragraphs are punch, the opposition stance. The opposition, the opponent, is the person who disagrees with me. I'm going to let this guy punch me in the face with his strongest argument. Then I'm going to block his punch. That's a rebuttal. So I'm going to disagree with the main point. In this case, Elon Musk is going to punch me in the face, and I'm going to block Elon Musk's punch. And then I'm going to knock Elon Musk out with a knockout blow, which is my stance. No Elon Musks were harmed in the production of this video. Okay, so let's say many believe. So what does Elon Musk believe? Many believe that. Nice typing there. So many believe that humanity should settle on other planets for our long-term survival. I'll explain that more in the essay. So that's the argument from the opposition. Many believe that humanity should settle on other planets for our long-term survival. So what's my block? How do I block this? Well, one of the main reasons is space exploration is extremely costly, okay? It's expensive, both in terms of money, resources, and people. So it takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of resources, and we need the minds of the smartest scientists, physicists, engineers, and just other people in order to solve this goal. And there are other priorities. That's my rebuttal. Yes, maybe it could help us survive beyond the existence of Earth, but space exploration is extremely costly. But I haven't really explained why we should not become a multi-planetary species. So I want to give the knockout blow, the most powerful argument. Okay, so becoming a multi-planetary species is a dangerous mission with a high chance of failure. Now, I know for sure the distances traveled and just evolution. Now, I mean, we evolved as animals on Earth, and it took millions of years. So it seems pretty unlikely that we can just go to another planet in another solar system and just survive and adapt. Very unlikely. And also, distances are so far away. I know there's many light years. I think it's 4 light years to get from here to Alpha Centauri, which is the closest solar system to ours. And that would take a long time. So this is the plan for my essay. I'm going to start by writing a paragraph on Elon Musk's side, saying many believe that humanity should settle on other planets for our long-term survival. Then I'm going to rebut it, and then I'm going to show that it's dangerous and has a high chance of failure. This is the plan for my essay. I've just written 3 sentences, but of course you're wondering, how do we expand that into a full essay? So let's go here. This is my plan for the introduction, okay? Introduction. So I need a hook. Now, I've already talked about Elon Musk, so let's use him as the hook. Okay, so I actually knew this quote because I've seen this quote before. This quote is a famous Elon Musk quote. Sorry, ignore this. Elon Musk quote, SpaceX failure. He said, when I started SpaceX, I thought the most likely outcome was failure, and I think to have any other expectation would have been irrational. So this is a good hook, because now we've got the attention of the reader. Elon Musk, famous, SpaceX, famous, and we've hooked you in, hopefully. So now, but we need to continue this and introduce the opposition stance. Okay, so he believes it is essential that we expand beyond the boundaries of planet Earth for the long-term survival of the species. That's introducing the opposition stance. And now I need to introduce my stance, and I'm going to use the word conversely. Okay, conversely, this means, on the other hand, this in more professional words, you might want to use this word. Okay. Okay, so such a bold mission is expensive, dangerous, and has a high chance of failure. That's my rebuttal. And then I want to introduce my stance. Actually, no, I'll do that later. So I'm just going to ask the question. Okay, so should we pursue this ambitious goal or abandon it? This is basically a paraphrasing of the question, should humanity strive to become a multi-planetary species? This ambitious goal is striving to become a multi-planetary species, or becoming one. And then, so finally, in the last sentence of my introduction, I want to state the debate topic clearly. I want to write the exact question, or very similar to the exact question. So the question was, should humanity strive to become a multi-planetary species? So that's literally what I'm going to write here. I'm going to write, this essay will discuss whether humanity should strive to become a multi-planetary species. So there's the introduction. Let's read it all once. When Elon Musk founded SpaceX, he was willing to risk his .com millions on space exploration, despite acknowledging that the most likely outcome was failure. That doesn't sound like Elon Musk. He believes it is essential that we expand beyond the boundaries of planet Earth for the long-term survival of the species. Conversely, such a bold mission is expensive, dangerous, and has a high chance of failure. So, should we pursue this ambitious goal or abandon it? This essay will discuss whether humanity should strive to become a multi-planetary species. No question mark, there should be a full stop. Okay, introduction done. So now let's go to the body paragraph 1, which, remember, is the opposition stance. So I'm going to present a strong argument for the opposition. So let's begin with many believe, okay? Many believe that humanity should settle on other planets for our long-term survival. Okay, so that is the introduction to the opposition stance. And now here you can see it says if, then, logic. Actual, what do I mean? Well, in the marking scheme of any secondary school writing exam, you have the word logical. Your essay must be written in a logical and cohesive way. Now, logic is simply this: A, B. If A, then B. This is a logical statement, right? Logical statement. If you learn mathematical logic or philosophical logic, you will see many, many of these. You say, if A, then B, A, therefore B. I mean, this is a basic way of presenting an argument. So if we need to be logical, it's good to think with an if-then sentence. So I'm thinking, if we limit ourselves to the planet Earth, then we increase the chance of mass extinction, okay? Because if the sun explodes, we will all die and there will be no humans anywhere else. So that's extinction. This is Elon Musk's argument. And I want to write that, so I'm going to write this now. They argue that, they means the opposition, they argue that by limiting ourselves to Earth, we increase the chance of a mass extinction event and that colonizing other planets can act as a life insurance plan for humanity. I want to thank Ryan for this sentence, because when I asked my class, should humanity strive to become a multi-planetary species, Ryan came up with this great sentence, and I'm going to use it in my essay. So thank you, Ryan, for that. Now I need to explain this a little bit. So let's explain. The lifespan of Earth is finite. Sorry, the lifespan of Earth and our solar system is finite. So why not strive to expand civilization beyond these familiar shores? Okay, so it's kind of an explanation, kind of a question. Finite means limited, right? Not infinite. So there we go. That's the explanation. But now I need a specific example. I always want a specific example in a body paragraph. However, there is no specific example of expanding beyond Earth because it's the future. It's a hypothetical scenario. So I'm going to use the word imagine, right? When I want to give an example of a hypothetical scenario, I'll use the word imagine. Imagine a universe where humans settle on multiple planets, thus surviving as a species long after our sun explodes. I say our sun because I mean our solar system. There are other suns in the universe. So there we go. This is my specific example, although it's kind of hypothetical. And then I want to end with clearly. Okay, so clearly there is a strong argument that we should indeed aim to become a multi-planetary species for our own protection. So this is the argument for the opposition. Let's read it out. Many believe that humanity should settle on other planets for our long-term survival. They argue that by limiting ourselves to Earth, we increase the chance of a mass extinction event, and that colonizing other planets could act as a life insurance plan for humanity. The lifespan of Earth and our solar system is finite, limited. So why not strive to expand civilization beyond these familiar shores? Imagine a universe where humans settle on multiple planets, thus surviving as a species long after our sun explodes. Clearly, there is a strong argument that we should indeed aim to become a multi-planetary species for our own protection. Okay, so the word thus here. Well, by doing A, we get B. Okay, we settle on multiple planets, so we get to survive long after the sun explodes. We do A, we get B, then we A, thus B. Okay, so there we go. That's my first body paragraph for the opposition. So pretty good. Elon Musk has now punched me in the face, but I blocked it just on time. And that's the next paragraph, the rebuttal paragraph. We're going to start with the word however. Now let's come back to my plan. However, space exploration is extremely costly and there are other priorities. Okay, so I'm going to write this. However, space exploration is extremely costly and there are other, let's say, more immediate priorities for our survival. How about this? So we said it was survival of the species. Well, immediate means right now. So aren't there problems that we have right now concerning the survival of our species? It seems that the sun's explosion is a long way away and we might all go extinct before that if we don't solve the problem. So let's think again. If, then we want a logical statement. So let's try. Okay, how about this? If we were to succeed in becoming multi-planetary, it would cost billions of dollars and require the minds of our smartest scientists and engineers. This is a logical statement, and this is true because it's no mean feat to become multi-planetary. So many scientific breakthroughs we would have to make. Now let me explain it. Okay, these resources could instead be utilized to solve immediate problems, including environmental issues which threaten extinction in the short term. So if you remember in the previous paragraph, I talked about long-term survival. Well, how about short-term survival, right? So short-term is more immediate than long-term. So this explanation makes a lot of sense. And now let's give a specific example. Okay, so let's throw some buzzwords into your essay. We could, for example, right, this is an example, we can put the word, for example, in the middle of a sentence. We could, for example, focus on a sustainable energy solution or on combating the effects of climate change. There's my example of how we could use resources and money in a better way than striving to become a multi-planetary species. And then let's give an insight. Insight means just say something clever at the end of the paragraph. So, okay, so not only does space exploration fail to address these serious environmental concerns, it actually exacerbates the issue with its huge carbon footprint. Okay, exacerbates is a great word to use in an essay once, don't use it like more than once. It means makes it worse. Okay, exacerbates means makes it worse. Now I just want to tie up this paragraph, so a strong rebuttal. A strong rebuttal to the argument that becoming a multi-planetary species would delay human extinction, because in fact it might bring it forward by exacerbating the environmental problems. So let's read this paragraph. Make it a little bit bigger. Ding, ding, no, too big, okay. However, space exploration is extremely costly and there are other more immediate priorities for our survival. If we were to succeed in becoming multi-planetary, it would cost billions of dollars and require the minds of our smartest scientists and engineers. These resources could instead be utilized to solve immediate problems, including environmental issues which threaten extinction in the short term. We could, for example, focus on a sustainable energy solution or on combating the effects of climate change. Not only does space exploration fail to address these serious environmental concerns, it actually exacerbates and makes it worse. The issue with its huge carbon footprint. A strong rebuttal to the argument that becoming a multi-planetary species would delay human extinction. Okay, so there we go. I have now rebutted the punch. I've blocked, and now I need to deliver the knockout blows. And, you know, this is really the reason that I chose to say no, we should not become a multi-planetary species, is because, let's come back here, becoming a multi-planetary species is a dangerous mission with a high chance of failure. Notice I'm using the word furthermore because I am continuing my own argument from the rebuttal. So furthermore, I better write this in 4 words. Becoming a multi-planetary species is a dangerous mission with a high chance of failure. So this is my main point. Okay, maybe rather than a chance, I would say risk, a high risk of failure. Okay, now I'm going to use an if-then statement. So if we examine the limitations of biology and physics, we see pitfalls in musk streams of a future beyond Earth. Okay, so limitations means the limits of what we can do, of what is possible, right? And then pitfalls just means problems. Okay. Now let me explain this. I'm going to explain it a little bit more detail. Okay, so it is unlikely that humans would adapt to the environment of another planet, an evolutionary process which took millions of years on Earth. And I would like to explain it more, but I want to be concise, so I'm just using this one sentence. But I can explain to you what I mean is it took a long time for humans to evolve. Many, many, many of our ancestors died in the process of evolving to suit planet Earth. So we can eat the food on Earth, we can breathe oxygen on Earth, we can live in the temperatures of Earth. If we just go to another planet in another solar system, the air will be different, the atmosphere, the pressure, gravity. Our bodies will not handle it. We'll just die. So that's kind of the brutal point which destroys the argument of settling on other planets. So I remember I wanted to know how long it would take to travel to Alpha Centauri. So let me just have a look. Okay, 148,000 years. Okay, according to NASA, the Discovery Space Shuttle travels at around 17,500 miles per hour. Even moving constantly, it would take 148,000 years to reach Alpha Centauri. Now, of course, maybe we could get slightly faster, but that's a lot of years. So I'm going to use this quote now. So let's reword this. Keep calling it Alpha Centauri instead of Alpha Centauri. Okay. NASA's Discovery Space Shuttle would take an astounding 148,000 years to reach our closest solar system, Alpha Centauri. Now, I mean, this is just a damning argument. It kind of blows everything out of the water because if this is the case, then we cannot live beyond our sun. We just will never get there unless we break the rules of physics or we find a wormhole or some other sci-fi movie argument. So not only is it risky and expensive, but becoming a multi-planetary species may be close to impossible. I'm sorry, Elon, but consider yourself knocked out. Furthermore, becoming a multi-planetary species is a dangerous mission with a high risk of failure. If we examine the limitations of biology and physics, we see pitfalls in musk streams of a future beyond Earth. It is unlikely that humans would adapt to the environment of another planet, an evolutionary process which took millions of years on Earth. NASA's Discovery Space Shuttle would take an astounding 148,000 years to reach our closest solar system, Alpha Centauri. So not only is it risky and expensive, but becoming a multi-planetary species may be close to impossible. Okay, and now we're going to finish. So we've written all of our body paragraphs, and now we're just going to get to the end of the essay. I want to summarize the opposition stance first. So in conclusion, while Elon Musk's vision for humanity may be intuitive and appealing. It faces many challenges and is perhaps best left for science fiction. Now I need to summarize my rebuttal and my stance. Okay, so it is clear that focusing on more immediate problems, let's say environmental problems, may be more effective in terms of saving human lives, and the challenge of settling on other planets is both dangerous and close to impossible. Now, hopes for the future. What do I hope? At the end of this essay, what do I hope? Well, okay, rather than pursue this unrealistic goal, we should focus on solving the immediate problems we face right here, right now, on Earth. Okay, and I want to finish with a flourish. It may... In conclusion, while Elon Musk's vision for humanity may be intuitive, okay, intuitive means sound good. Sounds good at first, right? Intuitive. It sounds good, right? It sounds like a great idea. When Elon Musk said it, we're like, yeah, very clever, Elon. But maybe it's not that great. Okay, so in conclusion, while Elon Musk's vision for humanity may be intuitive and appealing, it faces many challenges and is perhaps best left for science fiction. It is clear that focusing on more immediate environmental problems may be more effective in terms of saving human lives, and that the challenge of settling on other planets is both dangerous and close to impossible. Rather than pursue this unrealistic goal, we should focus on solving the immediate problems we face right here, right now on Earth. It may not be perfect, but this humble, singular planet is realistically the only option we have. I use the word singular because it's the opposite of multi. So singular planet is the opposite of multi-planetary. So I'm concluding that no, we are not a multi-planetary species. We are a single planetary species, and that's the best option we have. We should focus on making Earth a better place and making Earth last longer, because actually it's very unlikely we will outlive the sun or outlive Earth. Trying to do that would be a great goal. So that's my essay example. Should humanity strive to become a multi-planetary species? I hope that now, after watching this video, you have a better idea of how to construct an argumentative essay. That's all from me, and I'll see you in the future. If you have any if you have any topics that you would like me to address in an argumentative essay, then just write them in the comments and I'll write one next time. Okay, thanks. See you later. Bye.